TV, channel popping, screen so bright. Content dripping, every video hit just right. Flames in the comments can't cool the hype. Keyboard warriors tapping through the night. He got edit sharper than a katana blade. Punchlines hit harder than a renegade. Skirt through the algorithm, never delay. Every upload's a party, the vibes cascade. Like, comment, subscribe, that's the move. Bitch be so fire, it's the groove. Hit that bell, let the squad approve. More lit than the sun, we improve. Bitch got the flow, contain, ping, ping. Cameras rolling the grind, don't thin. Algorithm try blocking, but he still wins. Turn a critic to a fan with a cheeky grin. B-roll slicker than a fresh ice rink. Transition poppin' quicker than you blink. Trending charts canvas, watch them ink. Views go up, no cap, no shrink. You watching once, but you watch it twice. Every clip a diamond cut precise. Haters in the shadow, throwing dice. Bitch too lit, can't dim despise.
All right. This your boy Mitchie P coming to you straight out the hip. Car Chronicles, another episode. I want to thank everybody for like, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. Everybody is subscribing to my channel. I have 1,700 followers. I need 300 more to hit that 2,000. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some sports. Indiana University had played a hell of a game and won the national championship. This is the first time they won the national championship since, I think it was like 70 years, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. They have won a national championship. This is maybe their second national championship ever. That boy Mendoza, he showed up. He showed out. I ain't gonna lie. He's for sure fired #1 pick in the draft. And unfortunately, his ass gonna go to the terrible ass Raiders. Even though Tom Brady is a minority owner, but there is rumors that saying Tom Brady told the GM that he has only the say-so for the quarterback, and in every other position, the GM can pick off of that. But Tom Brady is the ultimate decision maker when it comes to picking quarterbacks, which that's good. I think that is a good thing for the Raiders to do for Tom Brady, because if Tom Brady picks the quarterback, then all the GM gotta do is fill in the pieces. Miami, they lost against Indiana University. The score was 27-21. It was kind of funny that Michael Irvin did not get to do his BTA celebration, but the BTA was put on him. So which is ironic. So yeah, it is what it is. It is. Congratulations to IU. I have legacy roots in IU. I have a lot of family in Indiana, and most of my family either go to Purdue or IU that lives in Indiana. But it is what it is. Just so you know, I think IU might be back in the playoffs next year, but I don't think they'll be back in the championship game. But they'll be back in the playoffs next year. Their team is humming. All right, football, NFL football. What the fuck? I told y'all, Josh Allen shit the bed. The Bills had a chance to put the game away against the Broncos, and they fucking lost the game. Bills lost the game. Josh Allen threw a bad interception where it could have been overturned if the refs really wanted to give Josh Allen that nod, but they didn't. He fucked that game up. He shit the bed. The defense been the biggest problem of the Bills all year long. And here's the crazy thing about it. This was the year that Josh Allen was supposed to. You had the second or third easiest schedule in the NFL. Then you turn around, notice Patrick Mahomes is not in the playoffs. Lamar is not in the playoffs. Joe Burrow's not in the playoffs. Three arch nemesis that you go to war against. All three of them is not in the playoffs. The AFC is super wide open. And you go in there, blow the lead. Then you let the Broncos tie the game. Then you turn around 3-and-out in overtime, throw an interception, Broncos come back and kick a game-winning field goal. No more fucking excuses for Josh Allen. No more. Your motherfucking ass had a chance. Now, and then they fired Sean McDermott yesterday. Oh, it's a wrap. No more fucking excuses. No more excuses for Josh Allen. That's it. You had your motherfucking chance. You shit the bed. Every year you shit the bed. And I know some people gonna say, well, Josh Allen's the most successful quarterback since Doug Flutie and all that, and Jim Kelly and all that. Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. Josh Allen shit the bed. You went to the AFC Championship twice. You got put out in the divisional round multiple times. He didn't even make it to the Super Bowl. I said this before in my previous episodes. If he made it to the Super Bowl, win or lose, I'm going to stamp him as a top 5. He's a top. I don't know. Y'all, I don't know. Y'all been blowing Josh Allen dick up, talking about he a top 5 quarterback, but he shit the bed. That's it. He's done for. All that bullshit talk, he's done. He's done. Bills are not going back to the AFC Championship no time soon. And they fired Sean McDermott the other day. It's a wrap for the Bills. I don't give a fuck. The Bills, y'all shit the bed. This was the golden year to get to the Super Bowl and get it done. Now the media, they blown their dick up again, and they saying a whole bunch of excuses, talking about it was the defense, it was the wide receiver core. It was stop it. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl with less. He won a Super Bowl with less talented receivers. No fucking excuses. Joe Burrow took a shitty ass Bengals team to the Super Bowl. That was a mid-ass defense team in rankings, and they was horrible in the O-line. And he dragged their asses to the Super Bowl. I'm going to say it. Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen. I don't give a fuck. Joe Burrow, hands down, better than Josh Allen. No more excuses for Josh Allen. No more. That's all I got to say. Get the fuck on. And then, and also these coaching, let's talk about some coach movements. Tennessee Titans, they hire Robert Saleh. Here's my take on this. Robert Saleh is a good coach, but if you don't have a OC to pair with Robert Saleh to help Cam Ward out, the Titans ain't going nowhere. The Titans is going to be just like the fucking Jets. They ain't going nowhere. Yes, Robert Saleh is a great defensive coordinator, but he's a shitty head coach. He never had a winning season. And I know some people say, well, I don't give a fuck. He never had a winning season. Did any of his teams go to the playoffs when he was a coach? So it don't work if you don't have an OC to help Cam Ward out. That's all I got to say about Titans. It don't fucking work if you don't have an OC. Also, Matt Nagy, he was the OC for the Chiefs. He got fired, and then they rehired Eric Bieniemy, which it was either Bieniemy or Clint Kingsbury. One of the two was going to get rehired. So we saw that come. John Harbaugh, the Ravens let him go. He's been there for 18 seasons, won Super Bowl, multiple playoff trips, went to the AFC title maybe 2 or 3 times. To other franchises, he underachieved. That's why it was time for the Ravens to let go of John Harbaugh. So when John Harbaugh got let go, immediately, maybe about 24 hours later, he got hired by the New York Giants. And here's my thing about it. The New York Giants, they're going to be a playoff team, but it's going to take him maybe 4 to 5 years to get them to an AFC championship. Let's just be realistic. They have to do everything right. They got the coach. They got a quarterback, Jackson. I think Jackson Dart will work out well with Harbaugh. They got to get some wide receivers, some decent wide receivers. They got to strengthen that wide receiver. Also, they got to get a decent running back. And I know John Harbaugh, he runs that straight West Coast offense where they just throw the ball about 30, 40 times. And they run the ball maybe 15 times. We understand that. But I think with John Harbaugh, the Giants is going to be on the right track. They're going to be a good playoff team. I don't see them a Super Bowl team yet. I got to see what moves they make in the draft, also in offseason, what free agents they're going to pick up. So keep your eye on the Giants. Also, Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley, he got poached away from the Packers. Now he is the Dolphins head coach. And now, since the Dolphins got Jeff Hafley, there's a rumor that the Packers is going to bring in Raheem Morris as the DC. Raheem Morris, he just got fired from the Falcons. Since he got fired from the Falcons, no teams is offering Raheem Morris a head coaching job. So Raheem Morris is one of those coaches where he's a great DC, but he is not as good as a head coach. So the Packers are already interviewing Raheem Morris, where they're going to bring him in, make him the DC. So if Raheem Morris comes back in, if he comes to Green Bay as a DC, the defense will be back to where it was at this past season. So keep your eye out on that. Also, Mike McDaniels, he got let go from the Dolphins, and right now he said he's only taking head coach positions. But here's the thing about Mike McDaniels: he's not a good head coach, but he's a great OC. I would love to see Mike McDaniels be an offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers. That would be a great fit. I would love him to be an offensive coordinator for the Raiders. That would be a great fit. I could see Mike McDaniels be a offensive coordinator for the Giants under Harbaugh. Oh, that would be great. Because if he joined forces with Harbaugh, it's a wrap. I would love to see Mike McDaniel go to the Titans with Robert Saleh, because if you put Robert Saleh and Mike McDaniel together, that was going to create magic, because Robert Saleh is going to get that defense up to par, and Mike McDaniel will have that offense up to par. And then, Mike McDaniel, I don't think he will be a head coach this year. I think he's going to be a offensive coordinator. But I think it's going to be a lot of playoff caliber teams that's going to come. That's going to give him the job as an offensive coordinator. So keep your eye out on Mike McDaniel. And this football season is already crazy, and we're not even in the Super Bowl. Because also our championship games are set. The Rams are playing the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC Championship, and the Patriots are playing the Broncos in the AFC Championship. Here's my predictions on the championship games. Since the Broncos have lost Bo Nix to an injury, I think the Patriots is going to go ahead and beat the Broncos because Jarrett Stidham is filling in for the Broncos, which is kind of funny because Jarrett Stidham is going to play his old team in the AFC Championship game. Jarrett Stidham, he's a decent quarterback, but he's not like starting material quarterback. He's always gonna be a lifelong backup journeyman in the NFL. So I think the only way the Broncos beat the Patriots if they're rushing at Drake May all night. But I don't see if the Broncos still have Bo Nix, I would say the Broncos will beat the Patriots. But this time, tables have turned. Jarrett Stidham goes down. It's gonna be the Patriots. They're gonna dominate, beat the Broncos. Now in the NFC Championship, I'm going to say this: the Rams are for real. Since week 6, they've been for real. So they are for real. And the Seahawks, they're for real too. I'm going to tell you about the Seahawks. In 1 year, they rebuilt that team. They got rid of Pete Carroll. They got rid of Geno Smith. They traded some other pieces. They rebuilt that team in 1 year. So did the Patriots, same thing. You get rid of Belichick, you get rid of whoever was the quarterback, Jones, and you rebuild 1 year. So Seahawks, they're for real. But something keeps telling me experience is over everything. Experience is going to win. Matt Stafford is going to find a way to beat the Seahawks. And then when that happens, we're going to get a Patriots versus LA Super Bowl in Santa Clara, which is the 49ers Stadium. And what's going to happen is that's pretty much going to be home field advantage for the Rams. And the Rams is going to win the Super Bowl because playing at Santa Clara is like having home field advantage. So it's a lot of Rams fans in that area. There's a lot of Raiders and 49ers fans. But it's pretty much just like going back home. So I think the Rams is going to win the Super Bowl. That's my prediction. All right, let's switch to basketball. LeBron James, the LA Lakers, Ja Morant, all of that. We're going to talk about all of this. So the Lakers have made they ain't made no moves, but some leaks have came out. Mark Walters, the new owner of the Lakers, had a meeting with all the front office staff talking about the budget for next year's NBA, talking about the salary cap. And it come to find out, the Lakers been planning this for years. But Mark Walters he's speeding the process up. Now, if you don't know who Mark Walters is, he's the new owner of the Lakers. He bought the Lakers for $10 billion. He's the owner of the LA Dodgers. He took a crappy LA Dodgers team and turned them into a World Series contender, and they won 2 World Series championships in 7 years, which that is phenomenal. And he rebuilt that roster every time they was going for a run. And I'm gonna just tell you the truth. Let me say this: Rob Pelinka, after this season, I think he's gonna be gone. They're gonna get him up out of there. Here's the reason why. Since 2020, the Lakers been subpar and mid. And Jeannie Buss let it slide for a while. The reason Jeannie Buss sometimes is too loyal to people. And she thinks about the loyalty than the business side. So when the Lakers sold the team to Mark Walters is a businessman. You know who's Mark Walters' right hand man? Magic Irvin Johnson. So let me paint this picture. Mark Walters, he's known for just getting stars with no remorse. He's going to get rid of stars just to rebuild the team as a championship contender. So he's going to take the same formula he did with the Dodgers, and he's going to apply it to the Lakers. So like this, let's go back to that meeting. So that meeting that he had, the staff meeting he had, the secret staff meeting, he was already talking about the salary cap in the future. So when Mark Walters came in, here's the thing: they was already planning to trade Anthony Davis. Trading Anthony Davis was in the motion. The only thing what happened was Rob Pelinka got lucky and got Luka. So that's why That's why Rob Pelinka will end up trading Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis was still on the team, this was going to be the year Anthony Davis was going to get it traded because the Lakers had a plan of trading Anthony Davis, letting LeBron walk, and call it a day, and then rebuild, get draft picks. But in this meeting, they talked about the salary cap, and they have to and they talk about rebuilding their assets of getting draft picks because they exhaust almost all of their draft capital to get mid-tier players because of LeBron. Also, Mark Walters told the other ownership groups and also other staff members that he felt like LeBron had too much power of roster decisions, and he's tired of it. And I'm not bashing LeBron. It showed you that Mark Walters is tired. And he also told LeBron that this might be his last year with the Lakers uniform and he might not get re-signed unless he takes a vet minimum deal or a mid-tier type deal where he might take a deal for like 10, $15 million. So you gotta realize this type of situation, this is business. It's not personal. Mark Walters, he's really trying to get stuff going. Really is. And some people don't understand that, but that's what he's doing. He's trying to get stuff going. Really is. And I can see this. It was bound to happen. LeBron James getting let go by the Lakers, it was bound to happen. So trading Anthony Davis was already in the plans. The process sped up because Luka fell on their lap. Now, Mark Walters also talked about they wish they traded LeBron 2 or 3 years earlier when LeBron had high value. LeBron has negative trade value right now because he's 41 years old. Who in their right mind would trade for a 41-year-old LeBron? And it might be just a couple teams that might want LeBron, but it comes with a $50 million price tag. So LeBron with 30 making $50 million, he will still have value. But at 41 making $50 million, it's kind of like a liability. So what the Lakers going to do is pretty much let LeBron play out his contract, and they're just going to force him to walk. I don't think LeBron is going to retire. I think he's going to force himself to leave the Lakers. Now, if LeBron loved the Lakers so much and he want to stay as a Laker, I think he's going to sign a vet minimum deal. And that might be the grand scheme of things. Force LeBron to walk or come back to the Lakers on a vet minimum. So if LeBron does sign for a vet minimum, that frees up $50 million. And then the Lakers can sign a big free agent in that slot. That's the only way LeBron could have a chance to win. But Rob Pelinka, he made a lot of horrible GM moves. And I think Mark Walters, since he has taken over as the owner, he's going to hold Rob Pelinka accountable even more. Where Jenny Buss, she didn't hold Rob accountable because Rob did some bogus moves. So that's the situation with the Lakers. All right, next team. Let's go ahead and talk about Giannis and Ja Morant. So there have been rumors swirling around that Ja Morant wanted to get traded at first. Then last night, some news came out that he preferred not to get traded. And here's my reason. The reason why Ja Morant preferred not to get traded because he realized teams that wanted him was not good enough. Like the Chicago Bulls was interested, the Milwaukee Bucks was interested, the Sacramento Kings was interested, the Hawks were interested, the Brooklyn Nets were interested, and the Miami Heat. John's number one destination was the Miami Heat. But Pat Riley, he's so cheap, he don't want to give up pieces with Ja Morant. And I think to me, Pat Riley's a little bit out of touch. He's almost 80 years old and he's still running the front office. And he he's not gonna get Ja Morant. And Miami is poorly constructed. And I think they're not gonna be in the playoffs this year. They're gonna be in, I think they're a play-in team. So when John saw that situation, that the only two teams that might want him is Milwaukee and Miami, and the offers they had where, like, say, Milwaukee would have to give up Bobby Portis and Ryan Rollins and some draft picks to get John Morant. Miami will have to give up Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero to get John Morant. And what John Morant gonna be in the same damn situation if he goes to Miami and Milwaukee? That team will not be good. And also, the Memphis Grizzlies, they're not taking no Tyler Hero and Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier just beat a gambling scandal case, and his value is horrible. Yeah, just because he make about almost $30 million, whatever. That's not going to put Miami in the driver's seat to get John Moran. And I always say this: if John Moran want to go to the Heat, the Grizzlies is going to ask for either Bam or Tyler Hero. And Pat Riley is not ready to give up either Bam or Tyler Hero. If the Bucks want John Morant, they're gonna have to give up Ryan Rollins, Bobby Portis, and Kyle Kuzma. Two of the three or all three. You know. And that's the reason why I think John Morant chose not to request a trade because he realized it's going to be the same situation on those teams because of roster construction. Now, on the side of Giannis, Giannis is playing chicken. What he's doing is he want the Bucks to trade him without him saying, I want to be traded. And the Bucks is playing that same game. They saying, oh, we're not going to trade you unless you ask to be traded. So these two teams is playing chicken with each other. They're trying to see who's the first one that's going to crack first. I'm gonna be real. Giannis is gonna be fed up this coming up off season because if the Bucks fail to make a trade this year, Giannis is gonna ask for a trade. Like every year, the Bucks try to appease Giannis by trading away half of their draft picks every year, trying to get players to fit with Giannis. First, they got Drew Holiday. They won a championship. That worked out. I still felt like the Bucks should have kept Drew Holiday. Yes, Drew had a bad year in the playoffs because he was injured majority of the year. I felt like Milwaukee should have. I think that 2022, 2023 Bucks team, they should have stayed together. And then you trade Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard. And I remember the day Damian Lillard got traded, I remember somebody told me, if you watch those interviews Dame had in Milwaukee, his body language is off. He do not like Milwaukee. It reminds me of that Gary Payton situation when George Karl forced the Bucks to trade Ray Allen for Gary Payton. And Gary Payton hated Milwaukee. And the Bucks tried to offer Gary Payton a $100 million contract. He turned that down. He told them he don't know if he see himself coming back to Milwaukee next year. And that was the situation with Damian Lillard. He hated Milwaukee. And then Giannis was crying and pounding the table, talking about he want the roster to get better. I'm gonna say this: the Bucks winning the championship in 2021 is their only championship they're gonna win for them. That's their only championship. That's their only one. They're not gonna win another one. So if the Bucks had a contingent plan of not winning and just bottoming out and just rebuilding the rosters, they should trade Giannis. Like Milwaukee, see, the Bucks won the championship in 2021 because they got lucky. They got lucky that year. Even though Giannis dominated, but luck was on Giannis' side. So if Milwaukee wants to be better, they're gonna have to trade Giannis. And I've said this before: out of 30 teams, 29 of them gonna want Giannis. That's it. But I don't think Milwaukee's ready to take that step. And I know the rumors about Giannis want to go to New York. I'm gonna be real. The Bucks do not want Karl Anthony Towns. They don't. They do not want Karl Anthony Towns. He's not good defensively. He's a little bit lazy. He don't care that much about the game. They don't want Karl Anthony Towns. He don't have a motor like Giannis. So it is what it is. So NBA trade deadline is coming up, and we gonna see what's gonna happen. Also, NFL free agency is coming up too after the Super Bowl. We gonna see. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about what's going on. It's your boy Mitch TV. I'm out.